was President Roosevelt who ordered the Tuskegee program. I entered the Institute because I'd wanted to be a pilot ever since I was a kid. I kept saying to myself, if anyone can do it, I can. I can be a pilot too. That's it. Those were hard times for all of us. I came from New Jersey. Even the journey to the camp wasn't easy. We were up against the whole world back then. We trained together for 2 years, but in some ways, it was like we were separate. I thought we would never be involved in the real war. Colonel Ruse asked me to participate into a program that was intended to get funds for the war. First flight over New York City. It was my first time over a P-38 Lightning.
Welcome back, Captain. This plane is a little different from the one you used before. So we need you to perform some simple checks before you take off. Roger. Okay, Captain Carter, I'll be your radio man for now.
Sir.
Okay, Captain. I'm glad to see you on flight again. The P-51 squadron will follow you during the first part. This flight drill is to get funds from the people down there. Don't forget it.
Sure, I'll do my best.
Good to hear that. Let's see if the instruments work fine now. The contact point is right in front of you, and also visible in your radar. Coordinates should appear as a green spot. Once you reach the target, the next one will appear on your radar. Your course will be shown step by step. Roger.
Alright, let's see if we can keep this baby steady. Which is... I've turned the sensitivity down a little bit, but it's still bouncing.
Radar and controls checked. Everything is fine up here. Flies like a bird.
Good. You have a new feature on this plane to trace targets. You can easily move through them to select the thing you want to focus on.
Alright, Y to cycle through targets.
Target located. I'll proceed with the objective.
Lock a target, so you can keep it in sight wherever your plane is heading to.
Alright.
Fly around for a while to get some practice with it. Trust me, you will find it very useful. You can use it for ground or air targets.
Clear.
Hold Y until it takes eyes off the target. Okay.
Let's start the show, Captain. We need to give the people a little thrill. Do what the squadron does. It always has a good shot.
Roger, I'm right behind them. Captain, it's time for a little fun, huh? Follow us down below. Let's see if you can really handle your plane.
I'll certainly try.
I'm on it. I follow you.
Alright, let's get some
Once you reach the
speed on.
coordinate, the radar will automatically jump to the next one. Okay, I'll try.
Try not to hit things. These balloons, as small as they are, actually have very large hitboxes, as I discovered off camera. So do not hit them. Please and thank you. And away we go.
Wow, that was fun. What's my next task?
The statue is right in front of you. You can't miss it, right? People are here for the show, and this is what you will give to them.
Clear.
Stay close so people can see you, or the task will not be completed.
Okay, I'm on the objective.
Once you recognize the target, it is over. Is it clear?
Clear.
Hold Y until it follows the selected target, and then fly around close to it until the green bar fully loads, okay?
The object is clear. Fly around in a circle and show off your shiny brand new plane.
And we raise money for the purchase of defense weapons. Do your best.
I'll do it, Colonel.
We need to push the citizens of New York to endeavor to raise extra cash. This war will cost billions to defend. Every penny is something for our troops. The government launched a campaign to ask women to donate stockings.
Stockings?
You heard right, son. Silk, nylon, and rayon are hard to find these days.
Sorry, sir. But for what?
We use them to make powder sacks for the military, or parachutes, tents, ropes, and even tires.
Okay. I understand.
Very unenthusiastically, I understand. Crazy man.
Target recognized. I will move to the next objective.
Also, people feel safe seeing us around. No one feels that way after Pearl Harbor.
I understand that. No better place than home.
We've got to be violating tons of no-fly zones.
Let's find out what they are playing in there.
From up here, sir?
On board, you have a new tool that decodes and traces radio transmissions.
Do I have something like that?
Sure you have, son. This new plane has some cool toys, huh?
He just told you he had it on board. It's like, do I have something like that? Yes, I just told you it was on board. Hold Y until it follows the selected target, then fly around close to it, then use right stick to find the correct frequency. Got it. Alright. Okay.
Kaiser? Bessie Smith was a singer.
I agree, son. Well, it's up to you now, Captain. Go ahead with the next coordinates. Help the cause getting some extra cash.
How can I do that?
You can see some additional targets on your radar.
I'm
The more
all.
extra missions you succeed in, the more money we get. You need to catch the radio message to know the mission.
Okay.
Sounds fair. It's up to me.
God
Sure
damn, are
it
you going to shut up?
But I think it is always worth a try.
Alright.
Designed by architect William Van Elm for a project of Walter P. Chrysler. This was one of the tallest buildings in the world till 1931. Designed by architect William Van Elm.
There we go. We've learned something about the
Target acquired.
Chrysler building.
Proceed with the mission.
Alright, now what do we gotta do? Oh, we gotta go identify the targets. So we will slow down as much as possible and fly around it. Even though it's Chrysler building's off to the left of it, of the thing there.
Target recognized. Yeah. Mission accomplished. Proceed with the contact point.
Okay. So let's see. Since we have a, is that all? Oh, leave an area. Oops, I don't want to leave the area. Since we have a few seconds here while this guy's not chatting in my ear, exclamation everybody, and welcome to Iron Wings. It's got a little bit of a Crimson Skies feel to it, which is why I've picked it up on Steam, and it's fully released. It's out on Steam currently $17.99 US. It's 10% off right now. Normally $19.99 question mark. And it's by Nap's team. And like I said, it's got a little bit of a Crimson Skies feel to it, which is why I'm all over it. That's a game that is criminally disappeared. I mean, it's not just abandoned. It's like somebody must have buried it in a in a landfill somewhere, because you cannot find it anywhere, or at least I have not been able to. But I've been keeping an eye out for things that are kind of like that, and this has that feel to it. It's not necessarily exactly that. I mean, this one's a little bit more trying to give a little bit more history, I suppose, than that was. That Crimson Skies was definitely an alt history thing. But as we'll get into this a little bit, you'll start to see some of the things that you can do with this game. This one right here, obviously, is the first campaign mission, so it's going to be naturally very, how can you put it, simple.
What the hell is that plane doing here?
Colonel, Langdon reports an unauthorized flight to the New York area.
Well, as to directives on procedures.
Yes, sir.
Captain, stop the show.
Roger.
We have an uninvited guest close to the city area.
I'm searching for visual contact. Do we know the guest?
No, not yet.
Again, restricted airspace, anybody?
I see it.
No?
It's heading downtown. How do I have to proceed?
Get close to him, and be careful. Your plane is not armed. We also don't know our guest and the nature of his visit. He is a man from the south.
Roger. I will proceed with the new orders.
What?
Or try to get as close as I can.
He's a man from the south.
Our
Yep.
guest
You
is
never
in
know
a
what
rush.
them southerners
I
are
don't think you
looking
will be
for.
staying for dinner, sir. It's a P-80, but it has no recognizable mark.
Be sure he is heading out of the living area.
Roger. Target on sight.
Alright, let's keep this guy in
You
sight,
can see the
shall
target
we?
area on your radar. Stay inside it, or the radar instruments will lose the target trace after a few seconds.
I like
Trying to get
how
his radio frequency, but no answer.
I think he
we're
has the
trying to
radio on.
stay
It is not a good sign.
somewhat historical, but
No, it is
yeah,
not.
these planes have radar in them. Yeah.
Colonel, the target is heading out of the area.
Alright. Well, I guess they
The
gotta...
P-80 can reach a higher speed than your plane. It's 100.
And I crashed. That was bound to happen.
What the hell is that plane?
Alright, let's skip
Target on
that,
sight.
shall we? I was
Yeah,
trying to. I
you
was
can see the
focusing
target
on
area
my
on your
on my speed here,
Stay inside,
trying to
or the radar instruments will lose the target trace after
trying
a
to
few
stay on this guy's tail.
We tried to get his radio frequency, but no answer.
I think he has the
Alright.
radio off. It is not a good sign.
No, it is not.
Not a good sign, but we're just gonna kind of let this guy do
the
his
target is
thing.
heading out of the area.
The P-80 can reach a higher speed than your plane.
Which is why I keep
It's a
passing him.
$110,000 prototype, so follow him for as long as you can.
What do citizens think about it, sir?
We'll say it's part of the show. I don't care about it. The good thing is this prototype is still
The dialogue in the game's not the greatest, as you can probably tell.
The guest
But
is in our area.
it's serviceable.
How do I have to proceed?
Mission accomplished, Captain.
But Colonel,
I repeat, mission accomplished. Back to the landing ship.
Roger, sir.
He said mission
Contact point
accomplished.
on my radar.
He said mission accomplished, damn it.
Captain, you still have time to raise some money.
Alright, let's
If
go
you want, you can check the extra radio signals available.
try this, I guess.
Yep.
One of the tallest buildings in the world till 1,913. The tower is modeled after the Campanile in Venice, Italy. MetLife Tower was one of the tallest buildings in the world till 1,913.
And
The tower is
the MetLife Tower, apparently.
Target acquired. I will proceed with the mission.
Okay, let's see if we can slow our roll here. Oops, not that much. But slow it a little bit.
Target recognized. Oh, yeah. Mission accomplished. Proceed with the contact point.
Alright, so couple things of housekeeping here. First of all, the game requires a controller. They don't actually say it on the Steam page, but they do require a controller. You can't do it without it. Second thing, and this is certainly not the only game to have this problem, but the default controls are a bit strange. Luckily, I mean, shooting your guns is actually using the triggers, so at least the devs have, seen a controller once before. Because I've played so many indie games where it's like, you want to fire your guns, use your right bumper or left bumper. It's like, what? Why would I do that when there's giant triggers on my controllers? Like pretty much every controller out there. Luckily, this doesn't suffer from that. It does, however, suffer from a accelerate is B and decelerate is A, which is strange, especially from someone who's played lots of racing games and stuff. A is almost always accelerate and B is almost always brake and or decelerate. So having those reversed for whatever reason is just kind of weird. But I wonder sometimes when developers put, write code to handle controllers, if they've ever actually played other games that have controllers on them, go do a little bit of research and find out what's comfortable to do. Because sometimes these default button mappings are just weird, and this is certainly one of them. I think it qualifies as one of them anyway. But we've done that.
We were coming out of a decade of depression and didn't want to get mixed up in Europe's problems. But all that changed on December 7, 1941, after Pearl Harbor. Colonel Ruse introduced me into a special squadron called Iron Wing. I didn't know much about our purposes, but I really wanted to join that war badly. I went to meet an old friend of mine and asked her to be my wingmate. Amelia and me had been childhood friends. Hard to believe in 1920. Her father was an Italian flying ace in the First World War who had escaped the fascist regime. He was a good man, but always seemed a little sad. He taught us how to fly. Amelia came from the WASP, Women's Armed Services Pilots. They were allowed to fly, but they weren't even trained to shoot, so she left. By the end of the war, 27 WASPs had died in battle. The armed forces didn't even allow the Stars and Stripes to be placed on their coffins. They were considered as civilians and non-combatants. As I said, son, these were hard times.
It's time to dance.
So, sister, are you sure you don't want to change your mind?
What the hell? How did you get into my radio frequency?
Next time, lock your home door.
Oh, great.
Alright, checking all the things. Which I actually kind of like. That's a nice little addition they added to the game here, which is doing all your pre-flight checks. The control surfaces checks anyway. So I think it adds a little layer of realism.
Mr. Williams' barn is on fire. Hay is burning fast. I need to put out the fire. Damn, animals may be in danger.
I don't know why all of her dialogue is not in subtitles,
I'm
but
here, I could give you some tips.
Oh my god. Jack, are you still there?
aim to targets with the crosshair until the outer circle becomes brighter, then hold right trigger. So here's where they're going to start to introduce some of the mechanics of the game, and it's certainly interesting. It's definitely a different way of doing it, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that actually quite positive. It is a very interesting way of doing it. It's just it has, much like everything else in the game, it has a little bit of a jankiness to it. But let's just show off what they do here first. So what we'll do is we hold down the guns.
I saw a couple of water silos close to the fire.
All right. So we hold down the guns until, as you can see, the circle becomes highlighted there. And then it will actually zoom in and give us sort of a gun view, like a gun camera view kind of thing, as you'll see in a minute here. And then we're able to
knock down the silos? Sorry.
Yes,
do
ma'am.
that.
Amelia, listen to me carefully. It's important. If you perform a quick flip while a target is locked, you will be faced right in front of it.
Sounds like an important tip. It is worth a try.
All right. Let's just do this. Beware your guns overheat level. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the? What the heck was that? I didn't even touch it.
I see it right ahead. Williams' barn is on fire.
I didn't even touch the controls there.
Considering I'm here, I could give you some tips.
Oh my god. Jack, are you still there?
Alright, we gotta go through this again. That was
Listen
weird.
to me. Don't waste your water.
I literally did not do anything, and it just suddenly flipped my controls around there.
Are you telling me to knock down the silos?
There we go.
Yes, ma'am. Amelia, listen to me carefully. It's important. If you perform a quick flip while a target is locked, you'll be faced right in front of it.
Sounds like an important tip. It is worth a try.
Okay. I don't know what that helps me do, but we're gonna do this. And
My best shot.
try not to shoot people on the ground if we can help it. There we go.
Good night. Great. I have the sun against me. I can barely keep my eyes open. Another neighbor's burning barn. I think there are no water silos this time.
Alright, so now we have different weapons that we can use, and for this one we want the bomb, but we don't want to be in this view just yet. So drop bombs, wait until both circles are aligned, steady in red. If the two circles do not appear on screen, reduce your altitude. Press to drop and hold and all that stuff.
I need
But
to
we
drop
need
a
to
water bomb over
be
these fires.
at about 1,000 feet.
Amelia, reduce your speed to the minimum.
Copy
Yeah.
that.
Be at about 1,000 feet,
I
and
suggest you reach a
then
height of 1,000 as it's easier to target the objective.
try to do this.
Bomb equipped. I get it.
And at some point,
Amelia, if you move too much,
we
you'll be
will
unstable and your bomb will lose the objective.
see the thing.
Jack, I know
There they
that.
go.
That's my job.
Hey, it's just to remind you.
Alright, now
Gun
you
equipped.
gotta sort of get out of that view. This is the kind of part that's a little bit janky, is like, I like that you focus on the target, but you're still in control of the fighter plane at the same time. Oh, I gotta get a little bit more distance before we do this again. You're still in control of the fighter plane at the same time. Like, the AI doesn't take control of your plane and stuff. And I know there's probably a lot of people out there who are like, "Oh, that's awesome. I like that." But for me personally, I would rather, if I'm going to shift my view like that, I would rather know that my fighter is not going to just suddenly drop out of the sky on me.
Bomb equipped.
Oh, I hit the wrong
Gun
thing.
equipped.
Hit the wrong thing there. I would like to know that I'm not going to suddenly crash into the hillside, that kind of thing. That, on the one hand, I applaud them for giving that level of control, but on the other hand, it's like, yeah, it feels a little bit weird. It feels a little bit, it makes it feel like you're kind of stuck in views and stuff, and you're not really, I don't know, it just,
Bomb away.
for me personally, it just kind of takes away from it a little bit.
Here you are, seed eater. I'm coming for you.
That said, I really like the
Amelia, I've had a
way.
few calls from other barns in trouble.
All right, so let's.
Nothing to worry about. But if you want to make more money, well,
Extra money. Let me think about it.
All right, let's see if we can tune in this thing. Whoop, there it is. Okay. We got another barn that we can storm.
Target acquired. I will proceed with the mission.
And then this one requires another bomb be dropped. So let's unfocus ourselves from that so I can see what the heck I'm doing here. Alright, and we want to come around this way. We want to slow down a bit as well. And trying to get that centered, and then we're going to go kabam.
Equipped.
And make sure I hit the right trigger this time. Once we're over it. Eventually. There we go. Like that.
Bomb away. Bomb Gun equipped.
Alright, so now what we want to do is spin around and hit it again. Try to maintain his altitude. Maintaining altitude in this game is actually a lot harder than you might think, because it's very hard to see the actual horizon.
Bomb equipped.
Oh, am I? What the
Gun
hell?
equipped.
Did I just blew right by the farm again, didn't I? It's very hard to see the actual horizon because they've got all these you know, what do they call them? Filters on? Not filters, but shaders. Got tons and tons of shaders on here, and I'm not a big fan of tons of shaders. Like, I feel like the best shader is the one that you don't know is even there.
Bomb away.
And they've got a lot of these. They've got a lot of blur, shaders. They've got dirt shaders, that dirt and grime shader, which I hate, absolutely hate with every fiber of my being. And I realize that that's kind of a conceit. That feels like to me like they put that on there because they're not quite satisfied with the quality of their art style. So by putting that dirt and grime filter on there, or shader on there, it covers up some loose. See, now this is going to be a problem. It covers up some of the general what you know, the jankiness, I guess, with some of the artwork or whatever. It's just not a great look. Let's see if we can hit the broadside of a barn here, right? Now again, this is another one of those where, okay, hold left trigger to leave.
Another one down.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, mission accomplished. Proceed with the contact point.
I guess that's what they meant by do that in order to stop from crashing into the ground. Alright. Well, now I know, because otherwise I would have crashed into the ground there like I did off camera. Going after that barn. Alright. So, that's kind of some of the mechanics. We'll head towards the end of this here.
I got you. Damn evil on the wings.
Which is with some dogfighting.
The
Finally.
time has come. Let your mama give you some seed.
Are you going to kill crows? Really?
No, just scare them a bit. Oh, I didn't know you were so sensible.
Alright, to engage flying targets, you must chase them from tail. Once on tail, keep shooting until the engage fire bar fully loads. During engage, missing or not shooting the target will decrease engage time bar. Also, losing the target will exit the engaging state.
I'm not.
Basically, that red dot there
Tip I learned in Tuskegee training.
is what you need to shoot
all
at.
ears, Captain.
It's hard to face flying targets frontally. Follow its route and tail chase.
Tail chase?
The perfect position to engage the enemy is right behind the tail.
Alright.
Doesn't take a lot of calculating how much you want to leave the target. You just move on your correct route and fire. Do you get it?
Almost.
you.
Engage flying target from behind, right?
Right.
Alright. And we flip around here. And we try to stay on their tail. We'll shoot a few more. Shoot a few more crows. Alright, come on. Again, a very interesting system. And I like the idea behind it. It's just a little bit, with the controls being as bouncy as they are, it's still a little bit more difficult, I think, than it really should deserve to be. Honestly, that's kind of my feeling about all the controls in this game, is that they're kind of a little bit more difficult to control things than it probably should be.
Think about it.
Look at you, my little Jack. Leather jacket, sunglasses, cool motorbike. Too funny. I should take a picture of him before he leaves the farm. Okay, I better turn off the camera.
Alright, press the left to arm camera, right trigger to look into the photo camera lens. Binoculars view appears and shows you the correct photo size to grab. Use bumpers to zoom in and out. When the image becomes clear and marks on the screen starts to blink, use right trigger to shoot the photo. If the photo becomes red, then shoot another one handling different parameters. The English is a little bit weird on this. Perhaps English is not the first language of the dev, but anyway, I get the picture. Yeah, I get the picture. So we go like this, and then we zoom in somewhere. And we take the picture. There we go. And away we go. All right, so that's another mission complete, my friends, and that gives you an idea of how the the different mechanics of the game go. And then there's also a.
We were awakened early in the morning. German agents were discovered in Mexico City, where they were planning an attack on the Hoover Dam. They wanted to disrupt the electricity supply and paralyze the aircraft industry and Los Alamos experiments. So people often ask, why did the Germans do it? But you must realize that for Germany, it was like being reborn. The Fuhrer had done great things that nobody would have believed possible. Germany was flourishing after years of unemployment. People had jobs again. Everyone was earning a good living, and the industry was flourishing. So every new technology would have boosted their military power.
Again, the dialogue writing is a little bit janky. They're kind of introducing a lot of different concepts. I mean, there's historical stuff there, obviously, but it's like, it's not flowing very well. And there's, why did we start talking about that when we were talking about the mission and all that stuff, that kind of thing. It's just a weird thing going on there. Now we've got some cash. We've got $12,000. So I don't know what any of this does. So I'm going to, I guess I could buy a Spitfire. Sure, or a P-80 if I really wanted to, I guess. Let's grab a Spitfire maybe? Sure. And then I'll grab a P-51 for the sake of argument, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why I'm grabbing any of these things. Red tails. Okay, that's the camouflage. Not going to worry about that. Weapon. I guess I should have left some money for weapons, huh? I guess we'll just take the light guns. Power up for $500. Yeah.
Okay, we're close to the contact point. New course is 128. It's funny. Its construction saved the lives of thousands of workers during the Great Depression, but also cost over 100 lives.
100?
Oh yes, it could cost more lives this time if we don't stop those planes. Most of New Mexico's electric energy comes from here. The Oppenheimer's project is too important for this war. Okay, I report a weak signal 4,000 miles north.
I still can't see anything other than rocks.
Black Canyon rocks interfere with the radio signal. We should have a visual pickup in a few seconds.
Keep your eyes open and prepare to engage. I see something down there. I'm not sure. Yes, P-80s heading down the canyon. I will follow them.
Beware, Captain. We spot falling rocks due to the noise of the reactor engine.
They are right in front of me.
Reduce your speed if you don't want to lose them.
Reduce my speed if I don't want to lose them? I don't know what that means. I think you mean increase my speed if I don't want to lose them. There we go. Whoa, okay, this guy. This guy means business. We're getting shot at. Whoa, that's very close. Very, very close. Alright, that's a bit bonkers. Okay, that was...
I see something down there.
I feel like that was kind of a...
P-80s heading down the canyon.
That was kind of balls, I'd say.
Reduce
Can
your
I...
speed if you don't want to lose them.
Can I hit this guy now?
Let me give you a review on your engine.
There we go. Alright, now we got him.
The dam is safe.
Captain, your mission isn't over yet. We located a new trace right in front of you. Coordinates on your radar.
Roger. I'll head straight to the point.
Hurry up, we have lost the radio trace from the P-80. Unfortunately, we can't track them for a long time.
Alright, well, I'll just keep running as fast as I can then. What else can I do? Alright, keep moving. And 11 seconds. Lots of rocks falling. Whoa. Whoa. There we go. Barely caught the edge of that.
They are right in front of me. I will follow them.
I will follow them. I will not speak in I will speak in sentence fragments, because that is what I do. Okay, what the frig? Alright, this is...
Beware, Captain. We spot falling...
Crap. Okay, let's try that again. Luckily, it's gives me frequent checkpoints, at least early on here.
I will follow them.
Oh, that is... Oh, I keep hitting A. Keep hitting A to speed up, and that is not the key to do it. Alright, this guy can, like, slow down on a that is way, like, there's no way that a plane would slow down that quickly. It's just not, that was unnaturally slowing down. It's like putting air brakes on somehow.
Just move a little bit closer.
There we go.
Hey, I got hit. No. What the hell?
Where are you gonna hit from?
I got it on my tail. I can't escape. I'm stuck in the canyon.
Wow. Defense say goodbye to millions of dollars. Buddy, somebody didn't do the math, I guess.
Amelia, is it you?
Flesh and blood.
How did you get here?
Ruse. Well, I also thought, if someone has to save your ass, it should be me. I will explain on the way back.
Okay, well that was a thing. That was a thing that happened.
The
It's
initial idea was to attack French territory, but it was too far from the airports in North Africa where they were stationed. The Allied fighters would never have had enough means and weapons to support the attack. They decided to attack Sicily. The Allied raid started on July 5th. And getting to Messina had almost become a race between the British and the Americans, and Patton won. Even so, 39,000 Germans and 62,000 fascists managed to cross the strait. When the battle was over and we landed, the place was a bomb site. But it was nice to see the people welcoming us as liberators and not conquerors.
okay. So all that stuff happened. I still don't know what any of this screen does. I really don't. But let's go back for a moment and let's take stock of what has happened. So that is the campaign. at least the first couple of missions of the campaign. It's a little bit, like I said, the controls are a little bit janky, but one of the nice things about this is there is an arcade mode. I just want to show this real fast. We can do New York here, and you can see what this has in store for us. I guess I will take the P-51 for that one. Red Tails, let's try... Too expensive, huh? Alright, never mind. Never mind, let's go with the light guns. So, the arcade mode here is kind of interesting. You can see there's all these guys with different symbols on their heads. I don't know what all of them mean. I think this one means more time. So as you shoot them down, you get more time. That guy with the repair symbol above his head, if you shoot him down, you get your damage is repaired, and so on and so forth. It's pretty interesting. It's an interesting little extra mode they've thrown in here. Let me see if I can actually get a bead on somebody, though. That's the question. I think that other symbol, that jerry can, was the fuel. Alright, let's see if I can, like I said, get a bead on this guy. Oh, it is very... The controls are so floaty, it's very hard to really get a good bead on things. Unless you're directly behind them like this. Yeah, this is a little bit ridiculous. Like like I can't get it to just stay in one... Well, okay. I shot him down that way without going into focus mode. That's a thing.
I want to kiss you, baby.
Go. Got him. Alright. And let's see if we can get this guy, this timer guy. Maybe. He's got 2 times points, it looks like. This guy's got fuel. We probably need him, because our fuel is a bit low. Let's see if we can do that. I guess it would help if I actually locked on to things, huh? That would probably help a lot more than what I've been doing. Yeah, mission failed. Because I ran out of fuel. But you can kind of see what the arcade mission has in store for you. Let's just try it. Let's try it one more time here. Let's try it with me actually locking on to things. How about that? That might work. That might work a lot better. That might be a lot easier then to keep them in range to do this stuff. It's also making it harder for me to avoid getting hits. Go. There we go. Alright, so that did work a lot better, actually locking onto them. So, ignore my initial problems here. Let's see if I can get this guy locked on now. Alright, let's get some fuel. If we can. Oh, if we can. Alright, alright. Come on. Come on. Get over there. Get over there.
Let me show you what I'm capable of. Oops, I did it again.
Alright, there's some fuel we've taken down. Let's get some time now, I guess. Lock on to this guy. Please and thank you. Oh god, now I'm all over the place here. Alright, there we go. Yep. I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Come on, line it up.
There we go. We got him. Alright, let's get some repairs on here, shall we? I think we could use some. We could use a lot if I could just freaking get this guy to line up with me. Come on. Come on. It is so hard to get this thing to stop bobbing around all the time. Like I said, the controls are a bit... like they oscillate. You have to oscillate a lot, which is not something I really like. And I've turned the sensitivity down to like 2. Starts out at 5 in the options menu. And it still feels very floaty.
Don't you love me? Do you? Beautiful.
There we go. All our damage has been repaired now. And let's see if we can... That's not the guy I wanted to lock onto. I'll lock onto the one that's got some gas for me. Fuel? Anybody? Fuel? Who's got some fuel? I guess none of these guys have any fuel, huh? Alright, well, we're gonna have to kill one of them. Oh, well, that's... or not. Or not. Well, there you go. 353 points. That wasn't too bad, I guess. Alright. And so that's a nice, cool little, like, arcade mode. I wanted to shut it off before we sort of wrap this thing up here. So, Iron Wings. It's not bad. It does feel a little bit like a Crimson Skies thing. There's a lot of little problems with it that kind of make it feel not so great. The controls, again, you have to oscillate a lot back and forth. They feel a little bit too oversensitive. You have to constantly overcorrect for things. They've gone a little overboard with the shaders. That the dirt shader and all that stuff is really not necessary. It just makes your game look really bad and amateurish. It's the dialogue and stuff is a bit awkward. It doesn't quite flow very well. The volumes are kind of off too a little bit on things, even though I've sort of adjusted them a little bit. I love the arcade mode. I love the idea of the arcade mode. Very, very good. I mean, I could just take a game just of that, honestly. The campaign being what it is. The campaign is not... There's nothing necessarily bad about the campaign. It's just... it's... Like I said, it suffers from just the control scheme being weird and stuff. And one other thing I should point out. It takes about a minute to a minute and a half for this game to actually load initially once you launch it. And that's from an SSD drive. So if you have an old school magnetic drive, good luck to you. I don't know what it's doing. I don't know if it's calculating ballistic missile trajectories or perhaps, folding some molecules and stuff, doing folding at home. I don't know what it's going on at the very beginning there, but it does take quite some time to load the game up. About a little over a minute is what I've seen. So something else to keep in mind. It does, even though it doesn't tell you on the Steam page, it does require a controller to be used. If you don't have a controller plugged in, I think the game just crashes outright from what I've seen in the comments of it. And it's a very good attempt at things. I think it's just got a lot of little blemishes that kind of add up over time with it. I really do like the mechanics of switching to like bomb view and all that stuff. I feel like they should have taken, they should have taken control of the fighter plane when you do that, so that you can't possibly crash when you're in those modes, just because it feels it feels unnecessarily like you're kind of locked in to that view, even though you're really not. It just kind of feels like it feels unnecessarily janky, I guess, to my perspective. I mean, I realize that's a kind of a very edge case, and most people would probably really like that. I just kind of find it a little bit awkward, as it were. But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty competent. I mean, like I said, I would play it just for the arcade mode, honestly. The campaign really hasn't grabbed me. And yeah, that about covers most of what I can think about it right now. This has been Iron Wings. It's by Nap's Team. It's currently $17.99 US on Steam. It's at 10% off as I speak. It is fully released. And as always, I will leave links down in the description so you can go do your own due diligence and see if what I've said is true or not, or is all lies, all falsehoods and whatnot. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.